was for Mame Emma Kwaba and Brachani. So, age politics avenue. Political star was training because making headlines. Near Yembre now, it be exomo, Ewaha, and idiom, and Braximus, and the Kayam. So, be to subscribe to the channel, but Maria so with my notification bell so share. Now, Afufra, I can so answer into me, Kebe, and Braximu, Mr. say, young call. Ama you seminum, and then me do a parliament house. Na Afenyo Markins and Amenoka say, Coco in Sensema, one ye minority caucus, it me a display of outfit a year parliament no, and na Yasusuja Edia Gunichima Unia any Asemkoto Accra. Na Yemonra and Seminum Abra a year NDC sitting MP Ǎnĝrǐly na ofaya Afenyo Markins Unia any Asemkoto Accra. At this point in time, Yemonra Seminum. Na yenhwene yeko ene de ba age politics avenue.
Interest rates has dropped, and these are all facts that I was expecting my colleagues to allude to. Unfortunately for them, on Friday when they got the opportunity, they decided to establish a branch of the Yoruba Youth Choir here in this chamber. And the choir master, who hails from Efutu, having a greater perspective of choral music, decided to mock cocoa farmers by letting his choir people dress in choir robes. In fact, what he did not know was that cocoa farmers in Sevios do not dress like choristers when we are going to farm. What we do is to wear what we call our working gear, our Wellington boots, and our cutlasses. I was expecting you to sing, to praise, appreciate what the president has done. I was expecting you to sing with Chiama Kainina Mame.
When the CD is artificially stimulated, there is lack of export competitiveness because the CD is stronger and our exports become, the cost of our exports become very high. So it disincentivizes exporters and the people who are outside getting our exports.
Mr. Speaker, honourable members, can we hear the minority leader in silence? With all due respect. Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether the respected Minister of Interior really wants to pursue this matter. I wish I had been at conclave. You know, when you are a leader, all manner of matters come to your attention. And you are required to be so measured in such critical times. Honorable Minister of Interior, I'm not too sure you want us to deal with this matter. I'm not too sure. Because you and I know what we know. I repeat, Honorable Minister of Interior, I am not too sure you want us to pursue this matter. I repeat, because you and I know what we know. Mr. Speaker, members, with all due respect, apart from the minority leader, all others kindly resume your seats. Minority leader, you have the floor. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have been in this chamber long enough, and we have had different approaches in resolving matters. I recall reading "The Gods Are Not to Blame." Ǎnĝrǐly was sent to Ile-Ife to make some inquiries. When he came, he was asked several times. And the indication was that before the rotten tooth is pulled out, the mouth must chew with caution. Mr. Speaker, I would want to prefer that you suspend sitting so that we discuss this matter at conclave. That is all I would want to say. Oh, you think so? Be careful. I am applying a lot of wisdom, if you don't know, because we are dealing with governance. So please, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I have heard the majority leader and what, according to him, he discussed with my colleague Habib. Indeed, Honorable Habib tried reaching out. Because I was in a meeting, I just texted him. But if in his wisdom, from what he said, there was a need for me to even be at conclave, then I would be further fortified by my request to you that let us go to conclave. Mr. Speaker, if however, there is no need for us to discuss this matter, Mr. Speaker, as you said, let the referral be made. Let there be a public hearing. Let Afenyo Markin, who these days is seen as perhaps, according to the allegation, I'm saying something which is untruthful and all that, and because of that, it is a breach of parliamentary privilege. Mr. Speaker, you have the wisdom to exercise a discretion. If, one, we cannot retreat to conclave so that the matter is discussed, and I have my good reason for saying earlier that the minister knows what I know, so that we discuss. If that is not okay by you, and you would want to exercise a discretion in the circumstance that there should be a referral to a committee. Mr. Speaker, bear in mind also that you are the chair of the Privileges Committee. Mr. Speaker, under normal circumstances, this matter must be referred to you. Mr. Speaker, you cannot refer a matter to yourself. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, so if they want you to exercise a discretion, Mr. Speaker, that is entirely in your hands. I will avail myself, should you exercise that discretion, to a public hearing, and then the matter can be brought to a peaceful rest.
Honourable members, before giving the floor to the majority leader, let's make it clear that matters of breach of privileges are not referred to anybody, but they are referred to a committee on privileges and immunities. I am here as a Speaker of Parliament. The referrer is to the committee. If somebody feels that sitting as a Speaker and you refer a matter to a committee on privileges you cannot chair before the committee, you can raise an issue of conflict of interest, and if the committee bought into the idea, they may ask the person involved to recuse himself. So let me make it clear that no matter is being referred to me as in Bernard here for the First Deputy Speaker. It's being referred to a committee, and a committee on privileges and immunities. Majority Leader, may we hear you?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I find it a bit regrettable that the minority leader on his feet did create some impression that there are things that he knows, further trying to deepen suspicion and misrepresent to the minds of Ghanaians that there's something that is being hidden by the minister. It is precisely that reason why this matter should go to Privileges Committee. And the Privileges Committee should sit in public, so that both sides can present their cases to the committee. So, Mr. Speaker, I think the matter is a straightforward matter. I've heard earlier attempts to deny that the records of this parliament do not capture any such incident. But, Mr. Speaker, Friday, during the State of the Nation address, all the media houses in this country were focused on this chamber. All television stations were focused on this chamber. All radio stations were focused on this chamber. And what the minority leader said or did not say, every single Ghanaian who paid attention heard or did not hear. I thought that there would be a denial that a statement like that was not made. But there's no such denial, except an allusion that he even knows more. Mr. Speaker, we are happy to hear the more, and want to hear it in public, Mr. Speaker, the attempt to scandalize this government will not happen, because some people every week registered a scandal. They must create scandals for the NDC government. Even where there is no scandal, they want to manufacture a scandal. So, Mr. Speaker, we want an open public inquiry by the committee to establish if indeed a minister or a senior NDC person has any interest in the company that is providing the service. We want to hear it. We want to know that minister so that we will take action against that minister. Because this president has promised that any minister who is involved in a scandal, he will remove that minister. So the Minister for Interior stands ready for you to come and prove his guilt. That is what we want. Mr. Speaker, we have all the documentation relating to the procurement. We have all the documentation relating to the ownership of the company. And moreover, Mr. Speaker, we have records that show that in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2021, the same company was engaged by the NPP government to provide the same service. We have evidence. That that company has been providing that service to the security agencies over the years. So on what basis, when the president is sitting here and the entire diplomatic community are in this chamber and the whole world is watching, do you seek to unfairly, unjustly and falsely scandalize a minister and think that we will let that lie low? Mr. Speaker, I was not going to accede to any demand that we take any short adjournment or any suspension for us to go and discuss this matter behind the scenes. Everything has to be discussed in this chamber because you raised the issue in this chamber. You knew there was conclave, you didn't raise it there. You waited till the president was sitting here. All the service commanders were sitting there. All the media houses were watching this chamber. And then you made this allegation. They must be watching us in this chamber when you substantiate that allegation. You must substantiate it in this chamber, in the full glare of all the media houses. Otherwise, we in the NDC, we will insist on the most severe punishment on you. We will, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I urge you, refer the matter to Privileges Committee. Direct that their hearing should be public, and direct, Mr. Speaker, that the facts are straightforward. There were allegations made in this chamber. There are recordings, whether in Hansard or video or radio, whatever, there are recordings. Mr. Speaker, there is nothing that should delay the work of this committee. Please give a firm date when the committee should bring its report, because the reputation of a minister is at stake. The reputation of a government is at stake. And we are not going to let this line low. We will insist on a referral to the Privileges Committee. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, I have listened to the minister responsible for Interior. I have listened to some members. I have listened to the minority leader. I have listened to majority leader. We are not at a stage supposed to debate this matter. We can only debate if the committee's report is before us. At this stage, we are not there. So I intend not to open the floor for any debate by allowing any member to further comment on the issue. As indicated, I have listened to the minister, the majority leader, and the minority leader, few members of parliament. In fact, from the minority leader, he said repeatedly that if the Minister for Interior, who is making the allegation, wants the matter to be pursued.
We ain't some who team cause or channel so my and I was so Jim Ray. That's an so bad Indian to be Edomania. It was about room na ya sumo question so.